Attention real estate agents. Your purpose in your business is not just some vague concept. It is the rocket fuel that will help propel your plane, or your business, and life to the next level. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about purpose, how you can get it, how you can keep it, and how you can follow and act upon it so that you can build the best business for you in your life. So let's dive into the power of purpose and why it matters so much. So my first purpose when I started my career in general, not real estate, but the one before that was I was military. And my purpose at that time was to bring the fight to the enemy so they wouldn't be able to bring it to our own soil as we had seen in the past. Never wanted that to happen again. So that was my purpose, and that's what I wrapped myself up in. And after about 8 years, my body just wasn't able to handle it, and they told me I couldn't bring the fight to the enemy anymore, that I would have to do it from behind a desk. And that just didn't fulfill my purpose to the extreme. It was still doing my purpose, but it wasn't the way that I wanted to do it. So my purpose needed to change. I became a real estate agent, and my purpose was to feed me and my family, or me and my dog, because I'm a solo guy. But that's what my purpose was then. And once I figured that out, my purpose kind of changed, and it went from how do I create more abundance for my clients? How do I help my buyers and sellers to the utmost of my ability so they can gain the maximum amount of wealth over time? And then once I figured that out, and I was selling 50, 60 plus homes every single year, I sat back and I go, well, this isn't my purpose anymore. This doesn't feel as good. I'm not helping as many people. So my next purpose was to help build a real estate team and then bring value to my agents, because I figured if I could help 10 other people do what I did, then I have 10 times the amount of impact. So on and so forth until we come here. Part of the reason why I'm doing these videos is my purpose is to help as many real estate agents change their lives as possible. This career changed the outlook of my life. It changed my family tree forever, and I want that for as many people as possible. Here's my point. Your purpose is going to change. So don't worry if right now you're thinking, dude, I don't have a purpose right now. I'm not feeling it. I don't know what it is. That's okay. That's okay. We can figure that out, and we can help you find a purpose or choose a purpose. And as I'm going to talk about at the end of this video, I don't really like finding a purpose. I think a lot of times we just kind of wait around for that, but I'll talk about that later. So the first thing we need to talk about when we are talking about purpose is, why does it matter? Well, the biggest reason why it matters is to keep you motivated and resilient throughout the entire process, and to help you make the impact that you want to make. Now, purpose doesn't have to be this big thing of grandeur. It doesn't have to be changing the world and shaping every human being in the country or anything that big. It just needs to be important to you, whatever that looks like. And it doesn't just have to be your business. That's what I'm going to be focusing a lot on. But in turn, by putting purpose into your business, it will put purpose into your life. You can have a different life purpose than you do in your business. Your business purpose should fuel your life purpose, whatever that is. If it's to spend more time with your family, I get it. If it's to go on wild and extravagant vacations, I get it. If it's just build as much money as possible, or as much wealth as possible, so that you can eventually just walk away from everything if you wanted to, or go do anything else that fulfills your next purpose, that's okay too. But the point is, having that purpose is extremely, extremely important. To find your purpose, I suggest that you sit down and reflect on what is important to you. What brings you joy and fulfillment? What kind of impact do you want to make? As humans, we are typically social creatures. Now, I know there's some of us that don't really care about other people or anything like that, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes your purpose is about you and what's important for you and your family. But for those of us that want to help other people, what kind of impact does that look like? And if you don't want to help other people, you just want to help you and your family, what does that impact look like? What do you want to bring to your family that's going to be impactful for them? Then tailor your business around that, and of course your life. But we're mainly focusing on the business in this video. So here's a couple of very strategic ways that you can do that. First off, one of my favorite tools to use when finding your purpose is a book called Find Your Why by Simon Sinek. He breaks down exactly how to do this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it would make this video far too long. But check out that book, go read it, and follow and execute. A second way to do this is sit down and actually reflect on this. I suggest putting your phone away. I suggest putting your technology away. And by blocking out everything else, you can focus on you and focus on those questions that is going to help you bring your purpose to life. Now, once you have a good idea on what your purpose is and what you'd like to follow the path that you want to go on, now we need to align that with your business and your life. Because we can have a goal and we can have a purpose, and it can be written somewhere. Heck, we can even put it in a beautiful frame and hang it in our home office. But without anything else, It's just floating in the wind. It's nothing. It's not important. We have to align it, and we have to put action steps in order to follow that purpose and keep us aligned. This way, everything that we do, all of the thought processes for our business gets run through this particular set of ideals, if you will. Now we just need to align your purpose into your business and your life. And how do we do this? My 2 suggestions for you, and there's a ton out there. You can throw this into the Google search bar or YouTube search bar, and a ton of things will come up. But here's 2 quick ones for you. 1 is daily affirmations. I will admit before I go on to the rest of this is not my favorite way personally. I've tried tons and tons of daily affirmations, and they just never really seem to work for me, but they do help a lot of other people. So if this will help you align to your purpose, then great. And focus on what that impactful statement is on your daily affirmation period. Stand in front of the mirror and say that thing over and over. I will impact 10 people in a positive manner today, or whatever it happens to be that drives you to make you go, yes, that would be a good day. If I was able to accomplish that, that would be a really good day. And then say it to yourself consistently. The second way is through a meditative practice. This is how I do it. I do this every single night or every single morning, depending on how my schedule looks at the time. And I spend a few minutes during my meditative practice thinking about this, thinking about what the impact is, thinking about what I want to do to help my people, to help my agents, to help my team, to help my family, to help my friends, to help my sphere of influence, just all of it. And I just kind of think on it. And I throw that into my meditative practice. The reason why we do this is so that we can keep it on the forefront of our minds. And what we do so often is we come up with this cool thing that sounds good and we tell our friends about it and they're like, that's a really great purpose, that's awesome, go do it. And then we don't really align it with our internal values, and then it just becomes something that we did once upon a time that we kind of forgot about. Have you guys ever done business planning? Let's say you did it at the beginning of this year or last year, and you did this great business plan and it was robust and it got you excited and it got you fired up, and then like 3 weeks later you were just back in the grind and you sort of forgot about it and you don't really know what they are. In fact, if I asked you to write down every single goal that you had back then, you probably can't do it. Some of you might, but a lot of you guys wouldn't be able to. By putting this into practice and aligning it with your life, you're going to keep it on the forefront of your mind so that you can throw decision-making processes through that filter. And sometimes that's through core values. You can do that too. Sometimes it's just through the affirmations or the meditative practice, whatever it is. But keeping it on the forefront of your mind is extremely powerful. The next thing is overcoming challenges when they come up, because, okay, well, now we've got it aligned and we've got the goal in place, but there are going to be challenges. You're going to get kicked in the face from time to time, especially in this industry. As I'm shooting this video, agents are getting out of the industry left and right because the number of transactions is far down than what it was over the last couple of years, the unicorn years, as I call them, right? That period is over, and now we're kind of aligning. We're adjusting. The market is kind of coming back, and a lot of people are stepping out of the industry. And a lot of those people didn't have purpose. Now, some of them did, and it was just bad luck that they couldn't get to it or what have you, but most of them didn't have that purpose. So you're going to need to know going into this that your purpose is not foolproof. Just because you go through this and you find out what your purpose is and you align it with yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be without challenges. In fact, I can almost guarantee when you get your purpose set in place, you're going to have even more challenges, you're going to have bigger challenges because they're pushing you to a whole new level in your career. Now, once you understand that there will be challenges, now we need to sit down and come up with some actionable items to help you maintain your path to your purpose. Okay, we can't just think about it and put it into our system and then not do any steps to achieve that goal. Just like the goal setting example I used earlier, you need steps. You need things that you need to do to get to that portion. So whatever your goal is, no matter how big or how small, I suggest you do some actionable items and you write them down so that you actually know what they are. And these will change over time. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. Don't spend the next 3 weeks trying to come up with the perfect action plan. Put in some basic action plans, some things that you know you need to do to hit your purpose and to stay aligned with your purpose over time, and then do those things. One of my favorite ways to do this is to have a core values list, basically a filter to run major decisions through that filter to make sure it still aligns with your purpose. This way, you don't veer off your path. So now that you've got some nice actionable items, I would now come up with an actionable plan. Write the whole thing out. What are we going to do? How are we going to put this purpose into play and maintain that? And what does a roadmap look like? Okay, I'm going to start here. Then when this is done, I need to move on to this section and this section and continue down that road until it starts aligning with your purpose. Next up, we need to make sure we have a very clear plan. We need a roadmap. We can't get to our destination if we don't know how we're going to get there. Having the purpose and all these other things I talked about are great, but without the roadmap, it doesn't matter. We're just going to be kind of flinging spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. We don't want to do that. We want to go ahead and put a plan in place, a step-by-step plan to make sure that you're staying on track. And lastly, none of this works without accountability. You will need some sort of accountability somewhere, whether it's another agent in your office, a mentor, a coach, a friend, a family member, somebody that you can confide in to put this crazy stuff out there, because some people are going to think it's crazy, especially if your purpose is very big. But you need somebody you can trust to confide in you and for you to confide in them and for them to hold you accountable or to be a sounding board whenever things get tough or whenever you need a little bit of help. It is going to happen. You will need that accountability, or else it's real easy to sit by the pool and sip margaritas instead of chasing your purpose. Before I get into my last couple of comments that I want to make about this, if you got any value from this, hit that thumbs up for me. It really helps me out. And also comment down below what your purpose is or what you need to work on that we talked about in this video in order to get your purpose going. And if you were in the wrong vehicle in order to push your purpose and your vision further, and you want to discuss how LPT Realty helped my purpose and my vision and that of my team, all of my information will pop up. You can contact me however you want. I'd like to make a couple of comments on a quote that I saw that I think fits this video perfectly. It's from Brant Menswar, and he says, "The biggest lie about purpose is that you find it. You don't find purpose, you choose it." And this is exactly kind of what I was talking about early on in this video. I think so much of our society is driven around finding your purpose, discovering your purpose. In fact, if you type "find your purpose" into that Google search bar above, you will find so many videos that will make your head spin. And I don't think we find our purpose. I think we choose our purpose. It doesn't just hit us in the face. For some of us, for some people, it hits you in the face, but they still choose to go after that purpose. And that's what I want to relay to you. And the reason being is because for some of you guys, some of y'all are lost a little bit. You don't have your purpose. You don't know where to start. You're watching this video to kind of get fired up about it or to have the actionable steps to do it. And you think that, well, I've just got to have it find me. I need to find it. I need to just keep doing what I'm doing until it finds me and it hits me in the face like a ton of bricks. It is likely not going to happen that way. You're likely going to need to choose a pathway, because there's a bazillion things you can have a purpose for in this life, especially with somebody that has a skill set in real estate, in sales, helping other people out, and that's your big focus, or helping your family, what have you. There's a ton of different ways to do it. And if you just wait for it to find you, you're going to be waiting a very, very long time, and you don't want to live with that regret. So you want to sit down and you want to choose it, and you want to choose one that lights your fire. If it doesn't light your fire, choose something else. Work on it until you figure out something, and it will change over time, and that's okay. But you just need that purpose so that you've got that direction to move forward. If videos like this and tactical videos about building a real estate business are important to you, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. A little bell will come up. Also hit that button so that you'll actually get notified when I do these videos. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.